everyone, welcome back to the vlog. I'm so happy you're here. I have been waiting to vlog for weeks, I tell you. I have been antsy to talk to y'all and catch up and just tell you about everything that I've been doing. And honestly, all the videos that I want to do is just a little overwhelming, but here we are. So today's video, if you are new here, I'm just gonna be spilling about what the latest is in my life. So this is very for my current followers, and you know, I've missed just chatting with you guys so much. So this is going to just be a live catch-up video about my favorites that I love, about some family updates and what I've been doing the past few weeks. Also some favorites that I have been loving lately. Travel, what I've been doing health-wise, like what I'm doing with my health, my mindset, etc, etc. So it's really just gonna be a chatty video with you and me, and I'm excited. And I have these little espresso cups from Amafi. I have these little espresso cups that I got when we were in Amafi, and I love them. Just make a little shot in them and sippy sip. So if you're watching this and drinking coffee or something, cheers. Oh, that was so hot. That was so hot. Didn't like that. But yeah, I've been into just drinking coffee black lately. I don't know what's up with me. Sometimes I put a little bit of oat milk or like nut pods creamer, but other than that, I don't really like the sweet anymore. Oh yeah, I definitely like singed the tip of my tongue. Love that. All right, so I have a little list of what I want to chat about today, just so I stay on track, because you guys know I can gab. And right after this, I'm filming my Venice vlog. So if you also watch my Venice vlog and I'm wearing the same outfit, yes, it is on the same day, just so you know. But I will be sitting somewhere else, a little different. Let me plug the camera in. Okay, let's talk about what I've been up to. So, timeline. Today is July 4th. It's the 4th of July. We were out of town for the weekend, but we came back last night because the 4th of July is going to be a day of rest for Luke and I, and it is the first 4th of July that I'm not doing something 4th of July themed, because I love Independence Day. I love our country, and it's my favorite holiday of the year. And today, it is also my favorite holiday because I get to chillax and just chat with y'all and edit and do what I want to do and not worry about work, because no one is online right now, hopefully, and all that stuff. So let's talk about timelines. I'm going to pull up my calendar and tell you about where I've been. So the first official week of June 5th, that weekend, I went to visit my mom and sister on the 7th. So my sister turned 21 on June 10th. So I went to Sarasota and St. Pete to go visit, and we had the best time. I literally loved it. And it was just really fun that I'm at a point in my life with my sister that we can be best friends, because we literally would fight each other with fists when I was younger. So it's just been really full circle to have her as like my best friend, and we chat all the time, and I miss her already. So that was a really fun weekend. And then the following week, we got back, and that week when we got back was a bit of a week of turmoil. And the only reason why I am sharing any of this is because those in my family that have been more closely affected have already shared it online, and it's kind of public knowledge at this point. So that's the only reason why I'm comfortable sharing this right now. But Luke's grandma passed away, and Luke is very close to both his grandmas. This was his maternal grandmother, and we saw Nana quite often, and we were close with her. And she was recovering from a hip surgery because she got her hip replaced. And I don't know the details. All I know is that it was a little sudden, and we weren't really expecting it. And that happened on Tuesday, the week I got back, on June 13th. So that was hard, and it still is hard, and we miss her. And I can only imagine what Mary, my mom-in-law, is going through, and same with like all the grandkids who just grew up with her and that was just really hard for the family. And her husband, DB, we call him Daddy Bob, they were married for like 68 years. And in my heart, I'm like, I just can't imagine a world where I'm married to Luke for 68 years and then he passes. Like, that just is heart-wrenching. So the family came together for that. And then the following day, Mary Grace, my sister-in-law, who I'm also close with, I gotta sneeze. All right, and then the following day, my sister-in-law, Mary Grace, got into a tragic car accident. It was raining, the roads were slick. She was by the state park, so there's no street lights, and the roads are really windy back there. And she went into a tree, and we are just so blessed that she's alive, that no one else was hurt, no one else was involved. And the only reason why I'm saying these details is because she's comfortable sharing this, and she's already posted about this herself. But she broke 15 bones, both her femurs, both her wrists. I think she broke her ankle. There's a list, and that happened the day after. And we were luckily able to go to the scene and kind of be there to support when she got to the emergency room, and the whole family just like came together. And this was all 3 days before our trip to Italy, and we were fully ready to just cancel the trip. But it just so happened that we were able to do the funeral and the visitation and all of that for Luke's grandmother before we left, which we were really happy that we were not like out in Italy when all of this happened. And then we also got to see Mary Grace and be with her a little bit before we went off to Italy. And it was kind of weird, and I'm being very vulnerable with y'all, and I know that some of you guys have opinions, but this is just the way that we handled it, and I wouldn't change it for the world. But it was weird going on vacation and trying to find a lot of joy and just like have our late honeymoon, because this is a very delayed honeymoon. This was a gift to us from the family, and we had waited years to go on this. It was weird going on that among the turmoil that was happening at home, and everyone in the family was so excited for us and supportive, and they were like, we can't wait for you to go and enjoy yourself. And it really was just like 10 days of pure bliss. So 10 days in Italy, we did 2 nights in Venice, 2 nights in Florence, and 4 nights in Amalfi on the coast, and it was magical. Luke and I got so much time together, and I personally love how our honeymoon was like a year and a few, like 6 months after we had gotten married, because we're so much more comfortable with each other. We just know how to travel together. We weren't tired from the wedding or anything. So it was really awesome for us to just be able to go and truly enjoy. And honestly, like, I recommend that to people. Like, take a mini moon, maybe take a few days, but do your big one when you have the time to prepare and you're not also trying to prepare for a wedding. That's just beyond me. I can't. Like, I would not be able to pack for my wedding weekend and also a 10-day trip to Italy. Like, I would literally have to hire somebody because I would be losing my mind. I'm the world's worst packer. Not really, but I'm awful at packing. I take hours for a 2-day trip just because it's really hard for me to get my mind everywhere and then realize everything I need and then like visualize outfits and then put it in my suitcase, and then I feel like I forget stuff, so I start walking around in circles and it's just a mess. So all that to say, that is a huge reason also why I have been a little off of YouTube, because I have been in the throes of with the family. I've also been traveling. I have been just every which way. And I also, as a lot of you know, work a full-time job, 9 to 5, and I juggled that throughout all this, and that was really challenging. I just had to kind of prioritize and realize, you know, I can't be filming and also editing and doing all this while my mind is elsewhere and while I'm needed elsewhere. So that's why I've been a little MIA. If you want, pray for my family, because Mary Grace apparently is getting discharged tomorrow. She's been in the hospital for, I want to say, MG has been in the hospital for probably like 3 weeks now, and she is getting discharged tomorrow, and she's going to be in like really intensive rehab and such, like doing PT. And Mary Grace she is so inspiring. Like, she's really kind of illuminated faith to me, and she's kind of helped me on my walk a little bit through her own ways. Mary Grace has been very much leaning on the Lord during this time, and it has been amazing to watch. And her mindset is just like none other. It's amazing to see just how gung-ho she is. And yes, she has her downtime where she's like, I might lose it, but she takes it one day at a time, and she truly does, which is amazing, because some people just are all talk, but she is all action. So it's been very, very rewarding and encouraging to see her just so strong in her journey, and Lord bless her. So moving on to other things. Current favorites. You guys, I finally realized how to set up all the stuff for what I buy. So basically, for so long, I was trying to set up an Amazon storefront, because I've been asked several times, like, oh, where did you get this? Or where did you get that? I signed up for the wrong account. I think I might be the worst influencer ever. And I literally signed up for the wrong account and just couldn't figure out how to make a storefront. And then I realized, wow, I actually signed up for the wrong account. So now I signed up for the associates account, I think, not the like the influencer one. But I have an Amazon storefront now, and as you can see, I have like office stuff, like skincare and hair care. I have some books. I have like all these different items in here, and I have one that I didn't post yet, but it's like my workout clothes that I like from Amazon. They're few and far between, but they're good when they're good. So yeah, I'm gonna publish this below, and you can go and check it out. I also have like grocery, art and photography, house staples, like cleaning stuff, just everything that I use very often. And then I also, for a lot of you guys that have been asking about just where I get my outfits and my clothing, blah, 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 I created a ShopMy. So ShopMy is kind of I like this way better, but it's like a like to know it of sorts. And I also link this below, but I have everything in order. So I have like shirts, tops, etc. I have my shoes, I have swimwear. So I have all of this just organized for you all. Where are my pants? Oh, I guess this is all together. Yeah, so like you can go in here and you can see like the tops I like to wear, the pants, the jumpsuits, my favorite perfume, just all of this. So you can go and like check it out. If you do end up getting this one, it's really tight. I had to size up, and I had to size up on that one. But yeah, you can go in there and check it all out. I love ShopMy. I think it's so much cleaner than Like to Know It. Like to Know It was so janky, and I just like ShopMy so much better. And it lets you like have a great shopping experience if you want to go in there and check it out. So that's also going to be linked below. And if you have any questions, let me know. And then in my ShopMy, the reason I made this is because I can actually link my supplements that I like, because when I usually do First Form, I have all these different links below. But now I'm just gonna have this one, and it takes you to all my favorite supplements of First Form. So, you know, you can see all the ones that I use very often. And right now, my favorites, let's just talk about favorites. So supplement favorites, as you guys know, my pre-workout Project One, and I'm actually filming on my Vegan Power Pro right now. So those two are tried and true and steady. I also use the prenatal. My OB told me that since I am on natural family planning, I have to be prepared for anything. So I take a prenatal just in case, you know, we get pregnant before we were anticipating to be, and I just want to be prepared for that. And then I also take the microfactor packets, and I actually traveled with the microfactor packets. One second, let me get them. So these are the microfactor packets, and I travel with them. They're so amazing for travel. So they have everything you need right there. And it's basically an antioxidant, multivitamin, CoQ10 for like brain and heart, fruits and veggies, probiotic, and an EFA. And then on the box, it kind of like tells you everything you need to know. I'm also gonna have that linked in my ShopMy below if you're curious. But if you're traveling and you want to take vitamins and make sure that everything is moving internally when you're digesting and such, that's why I take these on the go. And I travel so much and I very rarely get sick. And I think it's because not only am I taking supplements and vitamins, but I eat well as well. And I'm continually just feeding my body to be at its best. So there's many factors. This is not, if you take this, you're not just gonna be guaranteed to not get sick. There's a lot of things that go into it, but it definitely helps. And then I also take, what else do I take? I take a digestive enzyme from First Form to help everything down there. So when I am eating anything heavy or I go to a large meal, I always just take that accordingly to the directions that are on the pill box. So that is also on my ShopMy. In terms of what I've been loving to read spiritually, for you that maybe don't believe, this is for the believers. Body of Proof. Sometimes I have difficulty believing that Christ is real. And that is the believer struggle of like, if I die, do I actually go to heaven? Like, is that real? Is that real? Like, am I just kind of making that up? Do we make that up just to comfort ourselves? Like, what is going on? And I have been praying about this a lot lately, and I actually listened to a recent sermon from a church I used to go to in Nashville when I lived there, and I'm gonna link it below, but it's all about prayer and what prayer should be to us and how it's actually a conversation. And I've been praying that way, and it's been really illuminating to see how God has opened my eyes. But Body of Proof is basically just evidence. And I need evidence. I'm a very factual person. So I've been enjoying reading this. I've also been enjoying journaling. So I've been journaling more. And I'm not the 5-minute journal kind of gal. I don't like that. I don't like sitting down and doing, I'm grateful for this. Some people really enjoy that and it really keeps them on track. And I'm not trying to yuck your yum, because if you are that person, go for it. I tried it. I didn't like it. I like to kind of free flow and let my thoughts get deep and like think about, okay, what am I thinking about? Why am I thinking about this? What's going on internally? Or even I just think about random thoughts. Like, I love thinking about the noble families of Europe back in the 1500s. That's like my thing. I love it. And when we were over in Italy, I was geeking out. So I wrote a lot about that and just how it's crazy. Even though we think we've evolved so much as a society, we do a lot of the same things. And we worship the noble families a lot of the same ways. So, and they have formats of power within government, and it's just hilarious because we think we're so evolved as a society, and we are, but we're also not. Like, let's just be real. Obviously, we're not as barbaric as they once were, but we maybe still can be sometimes, but that's for just like another conversation. Anyway, moving on. Travel. Where have I been, Veronica? Like, where have you been? June, we went to Sarasota and St. Pete, Italy, which was amazing. We just got back from St. Simon's yesterday. We went to St. Simon's to visit some friends. We had a friend weekend. It was magical. I'm gonna post some videos up here, but it was a magical friend weekend, and we got to just enjoy time with our closest loved ones and our closest peeps, and it was just so much fun. And we are going to Big Sky in a couple weeks. We have this weekend home, and then we're going to Big Sky the weekend after, because we have to set that apartment up to be rentable. It's almost done. It got painted. It's had the handyman out there. It's had the electrician, and we have like all this stuff going on, and we're just really happy that it's almost over. So we can't wait to get that rented. And then what we're gonna do after is, I don't even know, we go to Peru in early August, first week of August. We're going to Machu Picchu. My mom planned this trip in 2019 and we were supposed to go April of 2020. That didn't happen. COVID happened. So basically this is a very, very, very delayed trip. We're excited. I'm exhausted that it's also going to be on the same year that we just took a 10-day trip, because getting back to work after Italy was hellacious. It was awful. My anxiety was so bad. Like, I was panicking every night. Like, I would literally shut down every night. I would be like so jittery. I would just not know how to control my emotions because work was it was just so much to come back to. And I really hope that doesn't happen again for Peru, because that was hell. I hated that. But anyway, health update. A lot of First Form supplements. I have been trying to be a little bit cleaner about what I put in my body and what I eat and what I indulge on. The indulgence thing is hard for me. This is a trigger warning for those that get sensitive about discussions around food and diet and etc. But I have been a little bit, I've been in a place where I am not very comfortable physically and also just health-wise. I've noticed that I've been a little bit overindulgent, a little gluttonous. Whenever we go out to eat, I just like overindulge. It's not just like I'm trying to enjoy, but I like eat as if I'm trying to fill a void. And I've noticed that. So I've been a little bit more conscious about how I'm nourishing my body. And that's kind of the mindset I've been shifting to, is like nourishment. I want to fuel my body. And also I want to eat things that taste good. So yes, yesterday I ate some sour gummy worms. They were delicious. Did I go crazy? No, I ate a few and I was like, this was good. So that is a whole entire topic in itself that is just very unique to everybody. Like, what works for me won't always work for anyone else, but that's just what I've been going through. And then also my mindset. Where am I at with all this? With everything I just talked about, what's going on up here? I've been going cuckoo. I feel really overwhelmed but grateful, and I feel weird that I feel overwhelmed and feel weird that I get anxious and overwhelmed even though my life is overflowing. It has been hard for me to justify my struggles even though my life is just filled with blessings. And I think a large reason of why I feel that way is because I grew up knowing what it was like to have not a lot, especially in the 2008 crisis that hit my family really hard. And I mean, I know what it's like to be on food stamps. Like, I know what it's like to not have a lot and wear the same makeup and same clothes all through high school. And I loved it, even though like my shopping place was the Goodwill all growing up. And that just was it. Like, I've experienced under abundance and not a whole lot, and I still found joy in that. And now I'm learning this new life of I'm comfortable where I'm at. I think that's why I am the way I am, is like I'm very keenly aware of that time in my life. And it wasn't my whole childhood, it was just a small portion. For that I'm really lucky, but I did get a taste of what it's like to not have a lot. It's like a new set of problems. Like, with every stage of life you get new sets of problems that are brought onto you. And I don't know, it's been interesting to find this new mindset that I have to adapt to, of finding joy in overabundance and just feeling overwhelmed. And I, in the end, just want to make sure that my life is serving others, is contributing to others, that I'm not just using, you know, like all these trips that I go on just for my own self-fulfillment, but I'm pouring into those around me, and that I'm pouring into my community when I'm home. And, you know, I do understand that I have to rest and be with myself, but that's what I'm trying to figure out. It's like the balance. So I think that's a big learning of this year, is trying to find more balance in our lives. And I know that's been something that I've struggled with in the past and I've talked about on here, but that's something that Luke and I are definitely working on and working through. So yeah, that's my mindset. This was a long, just chit-chatty video. I hope that you enjoyed. I'm now going to film my Venice video of what we did in Venice, what I recommend, yada yada. For those that have made it this far, thank you for watching. I'm so happy you're here. And also, I've been posting a lot on Instagram. So, been posting a lot on Instagram, been doing a lot of story catch-ups. If you want to more regularly follow along with me, definitely give me a follow on Instagram, because it's just easier for me to create content on there. And you know, I just enjoy it. I love Instagram. So definitely follow me on there. And I'm going to be posting a Venice vlog right after this of just like what we did, what I recommend packing, what I recommend doing. And then I'm going to be doing a Florence and Amalfi vlog as well. And then I'm also doing a summer wardrobe outfit. So I think I'm going to do Venice, summer wardrobe, and then the other two. Just because the summer wardrobe is going to take me a little bit longer, and I need to go find all my clothes because I have been wearing all of it. So it's somewhere in the wash. Anyway, thanks for being here. I'm happy you're here. Again, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and I will see you next time. Bye, friends.